you're all doing well today. This will be part 2 of what I was talking about last week. What I was talking about last week was the fact that God comforts us in all of our troubles. And that's found in 2 Corinthians chapter 1. And it starts with it starts with verse 3, then on. So what I wanted to talk to you today is about a little verse that was in Matthew, or that is actually in Matthew, and it is in Matthew chapter 5, and the verse is 4, and it says, "Blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted." Now I gotta tell you, there have been a lot of sad times in my life. A lot of times where I've been really hurt by a lot of things. I've had tons of breakups, tons of friends coming in and out of my life, a lot of scenarios where people have said the wrong thing to me, and all of a sudden I start crying. I remember this one day, my cousin came from Fond du Lac. I was actually living in East Troy, and in East Troy, we lived in this awesome big brown house, and we lived around a cul-de-sac. Well, in this nice house we were living in, you would think me living in this house, nothing could go wrong. I wouldn't be able to feel any kind of hurt or any kind of pain. I was kind of living the good life. Well, one day, and some of you who are watching this might laugh. I hope you do laugh, because me, myself, right now, thinking back, I was kind of like, boy, I did have that when I was little, when I was young. So it was around the summertime, and my friend, or my cousin, came over to spend a week with us. And a lot of times, we played like Monopoly and stuff, and it was really cool. It was really cool. Well, on a Friday we were watching TGIF, and I went into the kitchen to have some food. I cannot remember what we were having. But my parents and my cousin and my brother started talking, and it all ended up saying, "Boy, Jacob, you're wearing shorts. Look at those chicken legs." Now, you have to imagine the pain that I just felt right there when they said I had chicken legs. It's like, look, you know what? I've already been called this in school. I've been called that in school. Do I really need to be called chicken legs? Do I really need to be called chicken legs, really? So I went upstairs, I was crying, and my parents continually tried calling me downstairs to find out what was going on. So I crawled up, I was in bed, and I was just crying it out because it hurt. Later on, I went downstairs, and my parents were talking to me, and people were like, "Jake, why did you go upstairs?" I said to them, "Well, you guys said I had chicken legs. That really hurt my feelings." Later on, I felt good about myself later on during that time, only because a lot of people have their opinions. A lot of people have their beliefs. A lot of people have their own ways of life. And so what if they think I have chicken legs? Well, where I'm going with this is that during that time of mourning that, hey, I just was told I had chicken legs, I found out that all that time God was comforting me in it. And God does comfort us in any and all kinds of situations. And the thing is when we are blessed, mostly is when we are mourning, when we are at our downs. I remember in Job lost everything he had, almost everything he had. I believe he still even had a wife during that time. She even said to Job, and I could just imagine this, she told Job, curse God. She told Job that because Job had lost, what? He lost his cattle? I think he lost his house. I even believe he even lost his sons and daughters. Yeah, daughters. So Job had lost a lot of things. And I even remember he was sitting on the ground. He even had ashes. He was sitting on ashes. He was bald, he had measles, he had mumps. He had a lot of things going on during that time. But after his mourning, after all the things that he went through, God doubled what he had lost. Okay, so he had the same amount of sons, I believe, that were born, but he was still blessed. He was still more prosperous than he was before. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Blessed are you when you are mourning, because then you're going to be comforted in any and all kind of situations. So I just wanted to let you know that. God bless.